Hey, good evening. How are you? Praying that everybody is doing well. This is the Wives Empowered Facebook page. So I'm glad you guys, if you are on here live or if you wind up watching the replay, so glad that you tuned in. My name is Shannon Edie, and just wanted to have a little real talk with you guys this evening. I have another one of our wives that I want to bring on this evening. And so I'll see if she's available a little bit later. But I did want to tell you guys about next week, starting next week, Monday through Friday, May 4th through the 15th. From 6:50 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., there's a 40-minute prayer that is sponsored by Kawana Fogel. If any of you are part of the gathering that she does, then you know how phenomenal her ministry is. Um, and she's doing 10 days of fasting and prayer. And it's wives praying God's principles and promises for our marriages. And so each morning there'll be a different person who is, I guess, facilitating or the one who's praying during that morning. And so it's just Monday through Friday, but it starts at 6:50 in the morning and runs through to 7:30 in the morning. And again, if you are familiar with Minister Kawana Fogel, then definitely you know how powerful a ministry she has, and a heart, definitely a heart for marriages and for wives. And so if you can get connected with her, just look her up on Facebook. She has her ministry, Beautiful Ministries. So it's beauty dash full M apostrophe industry Inc. And so if you connect with her, I'm hoping to bring her on later on just so that she can give you a little bit more to let you know about it. Tonight, really quickly, just want to keep it 100 with the wives. Want to talk to you guys about just some things that a friend of mine, really my sister, Sanita Mitchell, and I were talking one day, and we said, you know what? This is something really every wife needs to hear, or a lot of wives need to hear, is just the realness of marriage. We hear so much of the fluff and the cover up of marriage, and like right now with everyone being quarantined, a lot of people are quarantined with their spouses, and some of that is wonderful. Some people are having a great time and some people are having a not so great time, being kind of in the same space all at the same, all the time. And so just wanted to kind of talk about that, some of the things that may happen, some of the things that you kind of want to make sure that you are you're making sure that you are keeping people in your life that can hold you accountable to your marriage. So I am not the savviest person with doing this live thing because I don't do it a whole lot. But I'm gonna try to bring in Miss Sanita if I can. So I'm gonna try and bring in Sanita to the live so that she can kind of give her comments as well. And like I said, I'm not at all savvy with this Facebook Live. So I'm going to see. Actually, I don't know how to do this thing. All right. So here we go. One of the things that Sanita, and actually, listen, let me just go ahead and text my sister because she can definitely just come on into the live if I text her. All right, so let me send this to Lady Mitchell. All right. So one of the things that we talked about while I'm texting and talking is that in marriage, really a big thing for wives is to have somebody that can hold you accountable in your marriage. Like each of us goes through temptation. Each of us goes through, times where our marriage is really, really good. And then also times when our marriage is just kind of rocky or it's challenging. And so we all go through that. And when we go through that, it's important to have people in our corner who will hold us accountable. Like, I mean, there have been times in my marriage where I felt like, you know what? I don't like this guy. And not just I don't like this guy, but when we really had a rocky time in our marriage, I was at the point where I was like, I hate him. I hate him. I was like, God, I don't know what, I got myself into. I don't know what you need to do, what needs to happen. But you know what? I can't do this. And so I was really at the point where I was not just looking for a way out, but I was just like, you couldn't tell me at that point, you couldn't tell me anything positive about my husband. I would just kind of, yeah, okay. And it was at that time that people would just like back to back, oh my gosh, you guys have a wonderful marriage. Oh my goodness. I wish I had a marriage like yours. And I would sit there and think, child, if you don't know what I go through in my marriage. You don't know what happens behind closed doors. So how can you say you wish you had a marriage like mine? Like, seriously, sometimes we just don't know what we're asking for, what we're saying when we tell people, oh, your marriage is so wonderful. And so at that time in my marriage, we had those struggles and those challenges. And it really was like, looking in from the outside, we just covered it well. That's it. We just covered up well. We perfected the art of Christian cover up because we were both in church, both on ministry staff, both, walking around the church carrying titles and trying to look like or project the image in front of other people like we had it all together. And so, and we must have did a good job of covering it because we were like, people were always coming to us and saying, oh my gosh, I love you guys, relationship, love your marriage. Oh, I want to be like you. And so, I mean, and then there were people who knew the truth. There were people who knew and could see. And I thank God for the people who were praying for us. So the prayer really helped us. But the thing that Sanita and I talked about was having those people in your corner. Like sometimes we have those girlfriends, we have those people around us that just kind of let us do anything, those wild friends. And that's perfectly fine to have your wild friends or to have your people around you that, you sort of turn up or what, those people that are just those fun people in your life. But then when it comes to your marriage, when you hit those moments of challenge, like you need those people around you that are going to tell you, you know what? No, it's not worth you walking away. And how about, you go to God with this? And not to say that everything is just a pray about it moment, but sometimes you need those people in your corner that are really not just for you when it's time to turn up, but those people that are for you when it gets to the ugly places in your life, when it gets to the place where where it's like, I'm just, ready to roll and I'm done with this. Or, I mean, even to the point where sometimes the enemy will come in and he will send other things or other people into your relationship to try and get your focus off of your spouse and onto someone else, whether that be, sometimes it's online. I know plenty of people that have dealt with that. And we too have dealt with that, just things that happen online where people try to bait you into an emotional relationship. And listen, I'm not blind. My husband is not blind. When we're scrolling through those timelines and we see the half clothed, people, yeah, I see the men that look good and he sees the women that look good. Neither one of us are blind. It happens. I mean, and sometimes that look becomes a linger, and that linger can develop into lust. And so it's something that happens. It's happened with more than one couple, that someone was looking at or interacting with someone online. And oh, I see Kawana came on. Thank you, Minister Mercedes, for coming on. Love you so much, and I miss you, and I'm praying for you that you are doing well. Minister Kawana, definitely I want to see if you can come into this. Can you, I don't know how to work this that well, but I want to see if you can come into this so that you can talk about the prayer next week. So if there's any way that you can come on into the broadcast, because I don't know how to do this thing. I don't know how to work it. But anyhow, so what I was saying was, it's like, you know, people have gotten tripped up with having where they're looking at someone online, they see something that looks good, the grass always looks greener on the other side, and then they begin to have an emotional relationship, or they begin to sort of flirt online. Things like that happen. I mean, and we get tempted as wives, especially when in our relationship, if things are rocky in our relationship. If things are rocky, if we feel like, you know, he's not treating us the right way, or if we feel like that something is wrong in our relationship, oh yeah, the enemy will throw out a bone and try to get you, you know, hooked on that line to begin to, you start seeing people who say the right thing, who do the right thing, who just, it seems like, oh, I'm sorry, Kawana, it says she sent a request. So let me see how I do her. Y'all gotta help me with this, because I gotta figure out how to do this and bring her into this live. Y'all can tell this, I don't do this often. So let me see. Allow viewers to send the, okay. And you can add them. So how do I add them? Anybody who is savvy with the Facebook Live, how do I add Miss Kawana? Because a sister is struggling with this. But let me continue on until somebody puts up there just how to invite Kawana in so she can also be a part. So basically, the thing that I was saying is that, you know, the enemy will put something in front of you that looks good, sounds good, is saying the right thing. They seem to understand every issue that you're talking about. And it's not just all of a sudden, it's like subtle things that really like, man, you know, that's just what I needed. And we find ourselves being pulled in a direction that might be away from our spouse. And listen, this thing is very real. It's not just something that you look at someone else and you say, oh, wow, that's pitiful. Look at her. She's posting pictures with everybody but her husband. And you know what? Sometimes that woman may need, that wife may need women in her life who can really hold her accountable to her marriage, who can kind of pull her coattail and say, girl, I know exactly what you're going through. It's not like you're the only one, but look, let's pray through this thing and let's really get focused back on where God wants your focus to be, and that's on your marriage and on your husband. So if you guys are, let's see, if you guys are any way savvy with Facebook Live and you can tell me how to invite Kawana in, then I'll go ahead and get her invited in. It says that she says she sent the request, but maybe I'm just like, I do not know how to do this. So basically, until I can figure out how to get her in, and I'm going to connect her in some kind of way in Jesus' name. Hey, Denise, love you. Hey, Miss Brumfield, how are you? I was just looking at your Instagram earlier. You look phenomenal. And so I miss all of my buddies. Hey, Pastor Talita. Okay, it says, do you see a green icon? I do not. So not sure if I need to do something. Did I like cut something off, or let's see. I don't see a green icon, so I'm not sure. I see a thing at the bottom that says invite people in, and so I have that active, but I don't see any icons. So, but I definitely wanted to just kind of keep talking so that I'm not boring y'all. basically, the thing is that we talked about, Sunita and I talked about, it looks like a person and video camera. So I see that, but it's not green. I see it. Click on the green circle that looks like people. So I see the little thing at the bottom that looks like a person and a camera, but then I don't see any green icon or anything where I could click on to bring her in. I know, hey, Pastor Yania, I know Pastor Yania does a lot of the lives, so maybe she could tell me how to bring somebody onto the live. It says, look next to the comments. Okay, so I'm looking next to the comments and I don't see a green I'm sorry, y'all. Listen, y'all need a Facebook for Dummies, a live for Dummies, so that I can have a Facebook Live for Dummies and figure out how to bring Kawana onto this. So, okay, it says send me a request, but I don't see anything to send a request. So basically, the thing that Sunita and I was talking about was being at a place where you're really honest with the wives around you. Just being at a place where, you can talk to the wives around you and say, I'm in trouble. My marriage is in trouble. I need help. And sometimes that's really scary because I guarantee you, I was in ministry. My husband was in ministry. It was just a thing where we wanted it to, look a certain way. At that time, we were more concerned about how it looked than, okay, Pastor Talita said it may not be activated. I did push on the button where it said to activate to allow people to come in. So I did do that. But evidently, I did not do something right in order to bring her in. So what I'll do is I'm not going to keep y'all really late tonight. I will make sure to end this probably in a few minutes. And then tomorrow, I'm going to get it right. I'll bring her in tomorrow, or if I can get it back up tonight, I'll bring her in just to talk about her 10 days of fasting and prayer. If I don't get it tonight, I'm definitely going to do it for tomorrow so that I can make sure everybody gets that information, and so I can bring Sunita in, because I totally have not even gotten her on the text message, let alone on the live. So basically, one of the things that happened in our marriage was I had to get to the point where I was so miserable in my hiding that it didn't matter to me that people knew I was hurting. So I got so miserable in my hiding, and God allowed me to get so miserable in my hiding that I didn't care that people knew that I was hurting, because I needed someone at that point. If we could have fixed it on our own, it would have been fixed. It would have been done, but we couldn't do it on our own. We needed help. We needed the support. Yes, we prayed. Yes, we had to fast, but we also, hey, Sunita, she finally on here. Sunita, I cannot figure out how to invite somebody into the live. I know you are telling me off right now because because you definitely was telling me about it's ways to do it, and it's other stuff you can use. And so Sunita's super savvy about this, and I know she's gonna tell me off later. So I love you, Sunita. I will listen to you tonight so that we get it right tomorrow. So basically, in my marriage, I had to get to a place where I spoke up and I spoke out to some of the women around me. We prayed, we read the word, we fasted, but then we also needed a community of people around us. We needed women. I needed women around me who were going to really be real with me, who weren't going to be like, oh, you know what? It's all his fault. And he is just so insensitive, and he's just, this and that. No, I needed women around me who said, girl, what are you doing? Like, you're wrecking your marriage. I needed women around me who were not afraid to say, child, please, that sounds so stupid. So having that and having those women who began to really be real with me. Hey, Tori, love you, girl. Having those women who were willing to be very real with me, that helped me to begin to grow up. Grow up and mature, because I got married at 26, but one of my clients told another client this week, he said, growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. And he said, I've seen 50-year-old little boys, but I've seen some 25-year-old grown men. And I had to think about it. Like, I was 26. I was a kid, a silly kid. And I did some of the dumbest things in my marriage, looking back now, where had I walked away and got a divorce back then, yeah, I would have been saying all of the right stuff, saying, oh, it's his fault and he didn't do this right, he didn't do that right. I would have made a really good case for myself. But at the end of the day, I was super immature too. And having those women around me, I talked to Sanita recently, and it was hilarious because I said, Sanita, at one point in my marriage where my husband was, things were really rocky and my husband was just, getting on my nerves, and I was at the point where I wanted to leave. And of course, the enemy sent someone along my way that looked right, sound right, smell right, had all the right stuff, was so sensitive and caring. And I mean, really, I started feeling like, maybe. But I said, you know what? I honestly, had I even had any type of inkling or unction that I would have gone that direction and Sanita Mitchell found out, I wouldn't have had to just be afraid of my husband finding out, because Sanita Mitchell would have drove her little teeny self up the Beltway, down Leonardtown Road, came and found my house and knocked me upside the head, because that's the type of friend that she is. Because that's the type of woman of God that she is. And then she's willing to hold me accountable, even if that means she has to confront me. Even if she has to say, no, you're not going out like that. I'm not letting you go out like that. And so having those people around me, it forces me to grow up. It forces me to mature and to not handle things in a way where I'm just, trying to blame everything on my husband. Is some of the challenges going to be his fault? Yeah. Are some of the challenges going to be my fault? Definitely. But having that accountability, having those women around me, and now my circle has expanded to include the phenomenal Minister Kawana Fogel, the phenomenal Pastor Talita Presley, even women, definitely the other women that are in my life who are just keeping it 100, no nonsense. Minister Mercedes, just, yes, phenomenal. Those women are women who are in my life who are willing to hold me accountable. So yeah, I have the friends who are fun, who I can hang out with and enjoy time with, and they look across the room and like, oh girl, look at that, he is fine. But then I had the ones that are around me that, girl, what are you looking at? Yeah, he fine, but you need to turn your head back around here. This is a conversation between us and you don't need to be over there. Like, I have those women in my life who are serious in keeping me accountable to my marriage, and that's a blessing. That's something that I think every woman needs. So again, I said I'm not going to keep you guys long, and I thank you guys, the ones who did tune in, and I apologize because I am so just lousy with trying to maneuver this Facebook Live, but I promise you that tomorrow I surely will go ahead and make sure I get it right, so that we can have not only Sanita, Lady Sanita Mitchell come in, but also Pastor Kawana Fogel come in to talk about her prayer, the 10 days of fasting and prayer. And again, if you are interested, it's going to start on Monday morning, and it's going to start at 6:50 in the morning and go to 7:30 7:30 in the morning. So it's 40 minutes. And that's going to be some powerful prayer. I know some of the women that she has, Pastor Gwen, the phenomenal Pastor Gwen, Intentional Ministries. She's going to be a part. Vicky Spence is going to be a part. I'm just so excited to be connected with these women because each of them has a powerful anointing. And so thank you, ladies, for just popping on my live this evening. I love you guys. Love you, Pastor Talita. Yes, 40 minutes, she said. Yes, 40 minutes. Love you, Pastor Talita. And one of these days, like if I learn how to do the Facebook Live right, then maybe next week I can bring you in. Hey, Charmaine. Guys, if you need a mask, Charmaine has the Wife Up mask. Please go to the Wife Up page and order you one of the Wife Up masks because it's cute and you can represent and wife up. I still haven't got the sign wife up. I haven't gotten the sign right. But yes, please go and order your mask, your face mask that has Wife Up on it. I ordered mine. One of my coworkers ordered hers. I'm going to go pick up mine and hers when they're ready so that we can represent. And then please meet us on Monday on the prayer call. I know some of y'all, I'm an essential worker, so I still have to get up every day and go to work. But I know some of y'all have been chilling at home and y'all don't get up until like y'all have to just get right online. And so y'all been chilling at 6:50, y'all just rolling over, but we're asking that you just get up a little bit early with us and commit to doing those 10 days. It's just Monday through Friday. You don't have to worry about doing it on the weekend, but definitely get up with us. And if you have not connected with the Wives Empowered page, please connect with us. If you haven't connected with Wife Up, connect with Charmaine with Wife Up. If you have not connected with The Gathering, connect with Pastor Kawana Fogel with The Gathering. I love you guys much. Love you too, Mercedes. I'm going to let y'all go tonight. God bless y'all. Take care.